name is Anthony the Web Nerd. Today is going to be my first video and I'm going to start from scratch. I'm going to actually go over in later videos about marketing, branding for web, everything to do with the web, and maybe a couple nerdy stuff today. But today's video is going to be on how to set up your website using WordPress. So pretty much I want to go through the difference between WordPress.org and WordPress.com. WordPress.com actually hosts your website and you have to pay them and they give you a WordPress and it's very limiting, especially with colors and changing things around. Where WordPress.org, you can download the actual platform and host it yourself. And we'll get more into hosting yourself versus things like Squarespace and Wix and things like that, and the advantages of WordPress. So you download it, but I really don't want to download it. I'm going to make it super easy. That, and I'm pretty damn lazy. So I actually have Fat Cow, as you can see, and then you want to click on WordPress. And I think there's three hosts that actually have this little feature. There might be a lot more, but the three that I'm aware of is HostGator, Fat Cow, and GoDaddy. So when you're on that, you want to click on this WordPress, and sometimes it takes a while to get there, and then you want to click on install. Once you click on install, you have to pick your website and then you can install it, and then as you can see I already installed it in my main domain, which is anthonymorlet.com/thewebnerd, and this is my domain. I'm Anthony Morlet, but please just call me the Web Nerd. That's what my branding is going to be at. If you like me on Facebook or whatever, but right now we're going to go through that. So this is WordPress. The main things I want to go through WordPress is post and pages. So a post is actually running from the blog, and pages is actual pages like the about page, the other content, whatever content you want to have. Again, we're going to go through brand and what content you should have in other videos. But for me right now, I want to just focus on getting WordPress up and running. So pages and post, and then themes. This is where the themes is, and as you can see I already added my theme, but normally the default is 2016. So you want to go in themes and click on add new, and you pick the theme that you want. I typed up a responsive design and I got this theme. So later on we want to talk about child themes and things like that, but really this is going to be more for setting up your own WordPress, not really getting any developers to work on it, just your own. I want to make it as easy as possible for you to do it yourself and also maintain your brand. I can change WordPress. I've had 5 years of experience with CSS and HTML, which we'll probably do in a different video on what the difference is and how to run things yourself and when to know to hire web designers and things like that. So in this one I picked this theme, and then I want to go to customize. Of course they're going to go through add-ons, which we will add later, but really I just want to fix the site title. Right, usually it says WordPress default or something like that. I'd already changed it for you guys. And then there's the plugins. Each WordPress actually has, or each WordPress theme actually has things that you might have to add in it depending on the theme. Some themes don't require anything. This is where you deactivate and things like that as well. And then you go into settings. This is where you can add dates and things like that, and you can also change your site title as well. Here's things that you can also change. But really, you want to go to discuss and kind of fix the comments and things like that. I guess it really depends on if you're running a blog, you want to keep this. I always go to the readings because this is where your content's going to be going from. Right now, it's actually at your latest post. So the front page is actually your blog. So a static page is where the content actually is striving from. So you can say this can be actually be homepage, and you can actually make a blog page. Right now we're just gonna keep it right here because we're gonna do that in a later episode maybe. Search engine visibility. We're gonna talk about that later, but right now we're just gonna save it. But that's where you're gonna change where you make your blog. Permalinks. That's for the links that normally has like a number. If you're running SEO, you probably want post name or maybe custom structure, but remember it's going to change the structure. We're going to talk about that later in a different episode as well. I always just do post name anyways. So actually we're going to go to post just to kind of show you the difference between WordPress for WordPress. So you go to video. Let me do that again actually. Video is the one that I made earlier, and you do edit. This is where WordPress is derived from. You have the visual and the text. So visual is more if you don't know WordPress at all, or code at all, I should say. Text is where you can code it yourself. Some themes have Bootstrap on them, so you can code in Bootstrap. Bootstrap is just a framework. You don't really have to worry about that, just worry about visual. Typically, when you're on it, you want to make sure that you're in visual, and you see this. This is where you would press where the other content goes, such as headers and paragraph. Your main header. And each theme has a different layout. This one has a global sidebar, or you can have no sidebar. So it just depends on the theme that you're going to pick as well. You can add media such as photos. If you have a YouTube video like this one, you could just link the YouTube video here and it automatically shows up. That's a cool thing about WordPress. It makes it super easy. And then this is where you add categories. As you can see, this is going to be a WordPress category, but there's going to be other categories later on, but I really just don't want to overwhelm you guys. Save draft. Once you're done editing it, you want to publish it. You can save many different drafts of different things and publish them at different times. We're not going to really go into publishing. Again, it's depending on who your brand is, your customer. We're going to go through things like that at a later date. One of the last things I kind of forgot to go over real quick is the menus. When you click on menus, this is where all your menus in the front page or the navigation will go. As you can see, there's four. And then if I want menus underneath the main menu, I will drag it over like that. So you can actually have a submenu of a submenu, but I never try to do that. For some reason it's having a very difficult time on. There you go. Save. Make sure everything is always saved, and then when you go to visit site, you can see there's three tabs, and then here's a submenu. It automatically makes it. I always don't have more than 8 main menus and no more than 3 sub. So this is a sub. So 1, 2. I always do 2, no more than 2. Again, it depends on the brand, and if you're doing like an e-commerce site, you might have to. But I'm just talking about a normal website. So we'll save that, and we'll go to visit home again. There's a sub page. So 1, 2, 1, 2. And that's it. That's the last question and last thing about WordPress. If there's any other things that you need, please let me know. Comment below, subscribe. I'm going to be going over branding, uh, marketing, everything to do with the web, and maybe some nerd videos later on. You're going to see my face a lot. This is more of a screencast. And that's it. Have a good day. Thank you guys. Bye.